Good morning, 7th graders, and welcome to week 7 of distance learning. It is Mrs. Lombardi here, and I am just sharing a weekly message with you on behalf of the 7th grade team with some fresh announcements and just a couple of reminders that we have found to be important as you keep in mind as we head into this week of learning. The first thing to report is that we will be following the schedule that we put out 2 weeks ago. So there's no long weekend this weekend. We are starting on Monday, and the student schedule will be as it has been presented for CPS students. So you will report to homeroom at 10 a.m. this morning, where your homeroom teachers have a lot of information to share with you, and check in. It's really important. That's how we're taking our attendance. So be sure to check in with your homeroom teacher at 10 a.m. A couple of things that we have noticed as we started to get used to this distance learning, and we're always adapting and changing things to make them better. We really want to make sure we're clear on how everyone is accessing their learning blocks and the codes. So some people, especially if you haven't adjusted your notifications in your email, probably are getting a lot of emails. And I am too. Your teachers are too. And it can be tricky and feel really overwhelming. So the message this week is we are trying to put the link for your meets everywhere we can. So the main two places that you should be focused on, and it's the same link, but some people are accessing them differently. Some people are accessing them through Google Calendar. We haven't taught you really how to use Google Calendar. Some people, they see it pop up on their phone as an event, and so it's easy and right there. Some people are accessing their codes from Google Classroom in their subjects. And so I want to show you just a couple of quick little things that can help you navigate your learning blocks so you're not feeling completely overwhelmed. A couple of other announcements in that regard is that if you don't show up for a learning block class, you most likely will be getting an invitation to meet with either the teacher or a teaching assistant during the office hours time. That is a time for us to check in and make sure you are understanding what you missed in class and making sure you're there, and we're trying to connect with you. So please accept those invitations. Those invitations may come out in an email. So just be on the lookout for those, because if you get an invitation for an office hour specifically from a teaching assistant or a teacher, it means that they need to check in with you and you should be attending those. So I'm going to flip you to my screen here, and I'm on my computer. I'm not doing a Screencastify, but I want to just kind of share with you a little bit about Google Calendar. So I am going to go to my Drive. Okay, so I'm heading right into my Drive, and if I go to my Drive, I can see it, but I can also see it right here on Calendar. And I'm going to click on Calendar, and my calendar might look a little bit different because I might have a few more appointments than you all, but maybe not. Maybe yours is full to the brim. So this is Calendar. This is what it looks like. And if I am going to go to April, which is, we're kind of in our last week of April this week, and I'm going to go down to this week, April 27th, I can see that I have English A already scheduled there. You probably would see if you whatever your A block is. So I can click on that, and what will come up is the code right here. That would be popping up on your like, if you have your calendar set with notifications, it might give you a little 10-minute alert before class starts. That is one way that you can check on your classes. Another way that's super easy and something that we're all very familiar with is using Google Classroom. So the code that I just showed you for my English A, it's also going to oh, that's Burke, sorry. It's also going to be the code that I have in my Google Classroom. So this might not be the quarantine classroom, but if I go down to my English A learning block, I would see the code right here, and that is also where I can access it for Google Meet. So that's just important information to share with you on different ways you can access getting into your classroom. Not all your teachers now are going to be sending emails, specifically because we know you're getting a lot of emails. So those are two ways that you can access your learning blocks in addition to checking your email, because I know some people have felt really overwhelmed with your email. The only other major announcement that I have from your teachers it's really kind of an important one, as we're starting to go to these learning blocks and you know the required work that you have, some of you are not necessarily paying attention to your revisions, meaning you're revising your work, making it better. So your teachers are giving you a lot of feedback, especially in math and science. I'm sure in your other classes too. However, specifically math and science, if they go into revise and give you suggestions, Miss Weber and Miss Crowley in particular, they're seeing you submit for the second time the same work, making no changes. That's not going to help you. Okay, so we need to really make sure if your teacher's going in and giving you feedback and making suggestions on how you should be editing your work, you should be going in there and giving them a little bit more effort and showing that you are making those revisions. So that's really it on our end. Once again, we will be sending out the checklist, the weekly checklist that you will have. And that's a reminder, if you have your class on A block is today, Monday. That work is due Monday. If the next time the work that is assigned for A block, the next due date for you will be the following A block that you see. So a week. Every class you have a week's worth of time to complete your assignment. Okay. As always, please email your teachers with any questions if you're confused about something, and please make sure you report to homeroom at 10 a.m. this morning. Have a great week, 7th graders. Bye.